Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. Before we get started, make sure you guys go check out the jersey giveaway details in the description below. Another announcement, we finally got the merch in. The Buds in the Box merch finally came in for me. I don't know about these two, but it's really comfortable and it's awesome. So make sure you guys go buy the merch, link in the description. The
Oh, that
Leafs,
merch looks comfortable, man.
thanks. Thank you so much.
Very.
It is really comfortable.
Is it?
Yeah, it's truly comfortable.
That's cool.
Um, anyways, the Leafs lose 3-2 in overtime against the Montreal Canadiens. And I mean, what are you going to do? It happens. We got 1 point out of it. We don't really need any points. But the only thing it does affect is Montreal is now in third place. So we might end up playing the Winnipeg Jets, which I know Felly doesn't like. But, they're kind of in a skimp right now. And I don't know. I don't know who I want to play, Montreal Canadiens or Winnipeg Jets. But I guess we can't really control that, and we'll see. In other news, before the game, Liljegren was actually playing in Hall's place. Hall is out one game, and Liljegren takes over, so he was partnered with Muzzin. Did you guys? Well, we'll get into Liljegren after, actually. So I'll just get into the game. 4 minutes in, Reilly scores from Galchenyuk and Nylander. A great screen by Galchenyuk. And he was actually really good tonight, and he gets his first point against the Habs, which is pretty cool. I kind of looked like he tipped it, but it didn't. What do you guys think about that goal?
It was a nice play by Nylander to get the puck to Galchenyuk, and then Galchenyuk actually put it through his legs to get it to Reilly, which was it was just a nice play. I don't know if he meant to do it, if he meant to get it all the way to the point, but either way, it got all the way there, and it was just a nice play. So you like to see that from Galchenyuk, and then that screen was really nice. And Reilly, it's good to see Reilly throw it to the net, because a lot of the time Reilly looks for more complicated plays, or he misses the net a lot of the time, I've noticed. So for him to shoot the puck towards the net, it's never a bad thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of Galchenyuk, I thought that was his goal. That was such a great screen. I thought it hit off him there. If anyways, he got the apple, and that was, as Felly said, that's a great shot for him. And kind of like how our power play was going, they weren't taking too long to shoot, and they weren't waiting for the exact perfect time. He just throws it on net at a good opportunity. He saw a little lane there, and look at what happens.
Yeah. And after that, Marner got a shorthanded breakaway on the penalty kill, but it was saved by Jake Allen. Jake Allen had a really, really good night tonight. So did Campbell, but Campbell's on the losing side of it. And then I just had a question before we get into the second period. We kind of got into this debate before. Felly shared his opinion with me, but who would you guys rather play in the first round, the Jets or the Habs? Any takers?
Well, for me, it's easy. Sorry?
I just go ahead.
You interrupted me?
I'm so
Wow.
sorry. I am so sorry.
No, I'm kidding. No. For me, it's a pretty easy decision. I take the Habs. I mean, the Habs are young. They're not very experienced. There's no one on that team that really has a lot of playoff experience, other than, does Shea Weber even have that much playoff experience?
He was injured.
So really, there's no one on that team that has a great amount of playoff experience. Even if Carey Price is back, the Leafs are always, lighting up Price somehow. For me, the Habs are a much, much, much weaker team than Winnipeg is. For me, Winnipeg, they've got their top six guys who are very skilled. I'm scared of Scheifele, to be honest with you, in any situation when he's on the ice. There's no one I can say that about on the Habs. So, I'm not worried when I see anyone on Montreal out there, aside from maybe the odd time Gallagher is, he's in and around the net, but he's injured right now anyways. He's going to be coming off an injury. He's not even making much of an impact. So, and then it gets all the way into goaltending. I know Hellebuck's not good right now. He's not playing well, but all it takes is one good game, and he's going to be that Vezina Trophy, goaltender. And it's just, that's not what you want to see in the playoffs. He is the last guy you want to see in the playoffs, in my opinion, in the entire league. other than Vasilevsky, I don't want to see him.
Yeah, for sure, and that's what it comes down to, right? Is goaltending. Goalies will steal you a game, they'll lose you a game, and honestly, in that sense, whatever Price is going through right now, we don't know, and he's been injured twice this season, and it's been for a pretty good duration each time. So it's not like he's and in that time he has not been playing well either. So that's a huge part right there, like Felly said, and also if they're depending on Jake Allen for the playoffs, I mean, look at what happened with.
Yeah, and listen, even if Price is back, don't get me wrong, he's a really good goalie, one of the best goalies ever, some would say. But he's older now. He's not playing as well this year, even last year, like he's not playing as well as he might be, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Obviously, he's getting older. So even if he does come back for the playoffs, he's not a game changer. And in my eyes. So
Yeah, including right now, and on top of that, like Felly said about, like, they're just not a scary team. They have Ehlers, Connor. Those are two they just find the back of the net like no one's business, and then they have playmaking and goal scoring Shifley. Like then they don't give me they have their captain too, Wheeler. Like they're like Felly said, that top six, they're scary, right? And they can definitely pull out goals from anywhere, and we've seen them go to the conference finals multiple times. We're lucky they don't have fans right now. I'll say that too.
yeah, and I mean, Eric, I don't know about you, but I mean, I know me and Jude have been saying that we'd rather play Montreal, but Winnipeg to me is the second best team in the North after the Leafs, and just going over their entire lineup, the only weak spot they really have is defense, and their defense isn't even terrible.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not great. Like it's obviously been struggling over the last 5-6 games, but what do you think, Eric?
Well, I think that you guys just made Zach from the Nolan Hockey Podcast really happy with those answers. But I don't know. I just think when you're going into the playoffs, it's so important to go in on a high note, or else it just feels like you're gonna lose. And I've had that firsthand experience, and we've seen it throughout the league. How you're going to the playoffs is how you play. Unless you have a miraculous turnaround like the St. Louis Blues, which is possible. Right now I'd rather play the Jets at this moment because they're on a 6-game losing streak or 6 or 7-game losing streak.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I think would even be a little bit of a factor right now. They just lost to Ottawa too tonight, so they're on a 6-game losing streak, a 7-game losing streak
I think
now.
it's 7 now.
A 7-game losing streak. You don't have much confidence going into the playoffs. I mean, I know because we know as Leafs fans what slumps are, and it's not too hard to come out of one. When you win one game, that can lead all the way up into the playoffs. But I mean, if it's just difficult because I don't want to play them, but at the same time, if they're losing like this to teams like Ottawa, Calgary, whatever, then like it doesn't look like such a bad thing. But
yeah, I think we can't really overthink it. Whoever we play, and we're ready and we're ready to beat them. That's all. But shifting gears.
Beautiful, coach. Thanks, coach.
Little pep talk for the Leafs. They're all listening. So,
yeah, they listen to every podcast.
Yeah, they just play it on the bus.
They love us.
Shifting gears to the second period, Tyler Toffoli scores 2 minutes in. It was on the power play. A lot of just weird calls tonight, both ways. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, the Leafs were fucked by the Leafs were fucked by the refs. Both ways shouldn't have been penalties. They missed a bunch of calls. They called stupid stuff. It's whatever. You move on. It was a good play by the Canadiens. Not sure why Lodgren was on there. I really don't know why they put him out there, and Campbell was a little bit late. So what are you going to do? And we'll get into Lodgren after. Sorry, what did you have to say, Jude?
That's just a great pass. I mean, if he made that save, that would have been on every highlight reel for the rest of our lives. So
yeah, and he did make some highlight reel saves. Don't get me wrong. Jack Campbell did play really well tonight. Kept us in the game, that's for sure. And yeah, literally the next note I have is great save on the penalty kill by Jack Campbell. And I also have a quick little stat before we get into Matthew's goals for you guys. So people always question, the Leafs power play suck. Their penalty kill shaky. What's going good for them? Well, their 5-on-5 play. How good is their Leafs 5-on-5 play? Spezza is 5th in the league for points per minute in 5-on-5 play, and 3rd on the Leafs. So that means Matthews and Marner are top 5 in the league. So is Spezza.
Now that you bring that up, I saw a stat today from a credible source on the score.
Trust me, bro.
Just so you know, I'm not getting questioned here. That TJ Brody. Did you see this?
I did not.
So for all the 5-on-5 goals that the Leafs score, 5-on-5, obviously, okay. So for all those, Brody is on for 66% of them.
Wow.
Jeez.
For any 5-on-5 goal the Leafs have scored this season, Brody's been on for 66% of all of them.
A good
That's a
a good
lot.
defensive play can swing momentum, and
For sure.
Exactly.
that's what that stat shows.
So that's kind of like a behind the scenes stat that really shows how impactful Brody is
Yeah.
for the Leafs.
Yeah, that's honestly that's really crazy to think about. Because
Yeah.
you have 3 different defensive pairings, and even though he's on for, I'd say, 1/3 of the game, he's contributing to 2/3 of the goals. So
Yeah. Well, he was on for today's 5-on-5 goal too.
that's true.
You don't really realize it, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get a point out of it all the time, but he's
'Cause-
there,
yeah.
right?
That's
So-
yeah, exactly. And then the next goal, this was 5-on-5, right? Matthews' goal.
Yes.
17 minutes in, Matthews from Muzzin and Thornton. Okay, so this is it's a good goal, but happened at a bad timing. If I worded that bad, but Nick Foligno gets injured in this play and goes off the ice. We don't have a timetable for him. We don't know his injury yet. He is very important to the Leafs, and we can't lose him. So this would be a huge blow to them if he's injured long term or even sometime during the playoffs. But he gets off the ice, and Joe Thornton comes on. Joe Thornton makes a good play to get it to Muzzin. Muzzin shoots Matthews with the hand-eye coordination of a god, of Sidney Crosby, and scores. Felly, what were you going to say?
Well, at the end of the day, if Foligno's injured long term, which that hurts to say coming out of my mouth, but that's literally just a waste of a first-round pick.
Yeah.
At that point, that's a valuable asset, like a first-round pick, and then Foligno could be a valuable asset to the Leafs, but that's not good. That's like that. We don't want to really think about that. Hopefully, it's nothing. And they're just being safe because he's older and they don't want him to do anything when he's going back in the game. But I think they showed where he got injured. He slid into the boards or something.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. That's also Joe Thornton's 6th point in a row. He has points in the last 6 games and extends his streak there. So that's just showing you he can ramp it up when the playoffs begin. Jude, did you have an opinion on that goal?
No, that's just a great touch by Matthews. A little bit of luck off of Edmondson, and you could just see in Matthews' expression, he's not like that normally, and he was pumped for that one for sure.
So you tell me no, that you don't have an opinion, then proceed to tell me your opinion. Oh God. All right. Well, that's basically all that happened in the second. Going into the third period, the Leafs were basically on defense mode, and they played well defensively. Jack Campbell was completely lights out the entire period. And before we get into that final goal, like I promised, we're going to bring up the Liljegren topic. I don't even know how to say his name. I think so, but everyone says it different. I wrote down here, Liljegren he's just not good. You guys had an opinion on it? You can share it now.
I know Felly did.
He's young, man. Like, it's not that he's not good. It's that
for right now,
you can't really be very good and impactful when you're like very new to the league. Like he is. He's played under 10 games in the NHL. So I don't even if maybe under 5, but you can't really expect too much out of him. At the same time, he made some really bad plays, like below the goal line, below the hash marks, just turning pucks over, not really getting back to his defensive positioning very well. So I didn't like what I saw out of him. But that being said, at the same time, it's he's a rookie. So what can you expect from him?
Yeah.
And that's a perfect, and that, like Cuthbert said, he said this is a good time to kind of shake up the lineup, watch injuries, and see, because come playoffs, we know we're probably not going to see Liljegren, whoever he is, play, right?
I
So
mean, the Leafs have locked first place, so it does not matter. They're whoever they play, does depend on some of these games that have left to be played here. But at the end of the day, they don't care who they play. They want to win every single game,
yeah,
right? They don't want to lose any games. So they want to win every single game as for momentum to go into the playoffs with, right? So there would be no reason to throw a game or not try their hardest or not put their best foot forward. But they have been.
yeah,
So are we going to go into that to the last goal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to start it off with the face-off.
Oh yeah. That's what I wrote.
Why in the world was Tavares not taking that face-off? Tavares wins like 65% of his draws or something. Crazy number. Crazy number. Like Tavares is one of the best face-off men in the league. On the left side of Campbell, you win a draw into the corner. You have to. Spezza's the best faceoff man on the right side, so you have to win it back into the corner. Why Matthews was taking that draw, I could not tell you what Keefe was thinking.
yeah.
What are you thinking in the right mind? If you just look at a sheet and it shows you all the percentages, I don't care who is doing well that game. And Tavares was doing okay that game too. This game.
He was the only positive player.
So why would you not put him in the circle there? That just makes absolutely no sense to me. I was baffled that I saw Matthews taking that draw and losing it. You know, I don't know. Like, why would you not put your best guy in the faceoff though when you need to win a draw there?
Yeah, that's a great point, Phil. Yeah, I didn't really think about it until I kind of it kind of clicked. I was like, why would we put one of the best offensive forwards to McDavid right now, and like in a time where we need a two-way player, uh and I don't know about you guys, but Tavares this year's two-way play has been way better than most years. So why would you not take advantage of A, his faceoffs, B, his two-way hockey IQ in that sense, and then just overall, I don't know. And was that on the penalty kill, or was that just 6-on-5?
No, it was just five. It was 6-on-5.
I was just
There's
6 on.
6-on-5,
I
and
mean,
then Mikheyev also can't put the puck into the empty net for some reason.
yeah,
His hands are stone, Mikheyev. There's no other way to put it. He's so fast. He's a skilled guy, but his edges are good. But
yeah.
his hands are terrible. They're just terrible. He can't handle pucks.
And then I mean,
So
they start playing with it up top. They give it down low, and that's just, I mean, Campbell was not expecting that. I've never seen any Montreal Canadian do that play as we've seen the entire game. They feed the top of the circles like that's the only play they have, and I guess that's just a really unlucky bounce. He wasn't in his RVH, if you guys know what that is, in time, and that's just that's a horrible bounce, like right off his. Uh, Craig Simpson said the way the puck went in wrong 3 different times. It was right in between his skate and his thigh, and it was right through there, and then it just happened. It just kind of like fell behind him, but that just sucks to see, including with such a great game from him, and that's the goal to take us to overtime.
Yeah. And speaking of overtime, I have a bone to pick with Craig Simpson. All right. You guys have been, chirping him every single time he is commentating for the Leafs, just pointing out things that, show that he's biased, and clearly is. I haven't really stepped in because I don't really notice that. But tonight I really did notice that. Toffoli goes on a breakaway midway through overtime, and Craig Simpson goes, "What a chance by the highest scorer on the ice." Or sorry, the hottest scorer. Hottest scorer, my bad. Hottest scorer. You're telling me Toffoli is the hottest scorer when you have a player like Auston Matthews on the ice? I just don't even know what to say. Regardless, this overtime was just kind of like a stab in the back, or a backstab to the Leafs fans. So Tavares hits the post, but right before that, Matthews and Marner go on a 2-on-0. Okay, Matthews and Marner, I believe, third and fourth place points getters in the league right now, on a 2-on-0. And they just missed the pass. They just missed the pass.
That makes no, like, I mean, it.
You can draw that up better in your head.
Me and Eric could have gone on a 2-on-0 and scored that. Like,
Yeah.
and here's what we say sometimes is that if Matthews and Marner have that literally 100 times, they would miss once. They would. They would miss one time. If you gave them 100 2-on-0s on Jake Allen, I guarantee you they would score at least 99, maybe 98 times. That is just such an unfortunate play. Marner, you know, he definitely got over it already. He doesn't really care about that game, but like he definitely was very upset with himself because he took that puck in way too far and sent a terrible pass back to Matthews. Matthews really didn't have a chance at it even. It was more of just it was more of a shot into the corner than a pass. So that sucked to see. Like, you know, if you could draw up what's your best situation on 3-on-3 overtime, what's the best thing that could happen for the Leafs? Matthews and Marner get a 2-on-0. That's the best thing that could happen. And it did. And they didn't. As soon as they missed that, you know it's over.
Yeah.
You know they're not going to win. So it was bound to happen. But Cole Caufield
Oh God.
scores with 17 seconds left, which is even worse. You know, getting scored in the last minute of any period or any game sucks more than getting, like, I would rather it be the first minute into it. But Cole Caufield, I don't see that guy scoring unless they're on the power play or in overtime. He needs time and space, and by time and space I mean 2-3 seconds which is a lot of time with the puck in the NHL, because you know the only good chances he's had in his few games that he's played in the NHL is on the power play or in overtime, and he's got 2 goals in overtime. 3-on-3. There's a lot of time and space. There's a lot of time to handle the puck. He panics when it's 5-on-5. It seems like, to me at least.
I mean, he's got it. He's got a great shot, and right now he's been able to use it once in real time, and that was today. Because every other time, well, the game we played against him, every time he got the puck, he'd fumble it somehow, or he'd mispass it, or he'd do something. So like Felly just said, the nerves on him look not good.
I mean, that was the worst possible situation for that guy to score in overtime. Anyone else, I would have rather Josh Anderson. I hate Josh Anderson more than anyone on the Habs. That was the worst thing that could have happened. Cole Caufield scoring, because Habs fans are just obnoxious about that kind of stuff. So, you know,
I love the guy, right? I love goal scoring. I love like high intent, like lots of points. I like stats. I'm a stats guy, right? So just seeing Cole Caufield
Eric the stats guy.
seeing Cole Caufield smash Auston Matthews' record in the USDP, you know, that lit my eyes up, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch this guy in the NHL. Unfortunately, he falls to the Habs, the worst possible team to go to, but I'm still like basically 50-50 on him. I can praise him. I can't praise what he's doing for his team. I think he's going to be a good player, and obviously he does need a lot of space and time. Like Felly said, 2-3 seconds. That's not going to cut in the NHL. He has to get quicker on that. I think he will improve, though, as the years go on, but maybe a little bit overhyped for him. He's still the 15th overall pick.
It's pretty overhyped. I mean, I think the reason he got passed up to 15 is because he's so small, and it's kind of evident that he's so small because, listen, small, speedy guys like him show out in overtime because there's a lot of time and space. But 5-on-5 in the NHL, everyone's bigger, everyone's stronger. Time, and like there's no space when you think about it. There's 10 grown men out there, you know, these 6'3", 6'2" guys on the ice. There's 5-on-5. You've got to be really, really exceptional to score regularly on in a 5-on-5 situation in the NHL. I'm not saying that he's never going to be a good goal scorer because I don't know. I think he has the potential to be, but I think he's just a little bit too small. And right now he seems like obviously it's his 5th game in the NHL and he's looking nervous. But to score 5-on-5 in the NHL, you got to have like more of a presence. I don't know. It's just he scored 2 3-on-3 goals, which he's had a lot of time and space with them, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I guess if you guys don't have any final thoughts, we'll end it here.
Yeah, and that's not to like poop on the guy or anything, but I still think he's an amazing player, but
yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, only time will tell. Thank you guys for watching the Buds in the Box podcast. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And Valley just dipped.
Sorry.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. And if you're watching on Spotify, make sure to follow us. We really appreciate everyone watching. And yeah, I guess we'll end it here. So this has been the Buds in the Box.
My dog was there.
Okay. This has been the Buds in the Box. Bye for now.